As we find ourselves in the midst of a pandemic, the likes of which we have never seen before.
It's kind of disturbing how I'm sitting at the train track for about 10 minutes watching all these military vehicles, tanks, and trucks.
Here in the U.S., the number of confirmed cases continues to rise, with more than 13,000 testing positive.
The source of the virus could be a natural epidemic like Ebola, or it could be bioterrorism.
Authorities are now warning that the virus is contagious during its incubation period.
Chinese state media first reported that Li was one of several whistleblowers silenced by police. But hours after hitting send, Wuhan city health officials tracked Li down.
Let's take a step back in time. Over the past few years, Donald Trump became the president of the United States of America, beating the Clinton and Bush oligarchy. The stock market hit all-time highs, naming 2020 the Roaring Twenties. People going out partying, carefree, people getting rich off stocks and cryptocurrencies, celebrities being worshipped and wilding out. The Brexit happened, Hong Kong protest for freedom, Yellow Vest protest. But lurking in the shadows was a huge debt bubble from 2008 that we never really fully recovered from. Bank bailouts, QE3 auto loan delinquencies, credit for Americans all-time high since 2008. Warren Buffett putting all of his money into cash. World War III on the table with North Korea, Russia, Iran, and China. The Space Force being built, the military being rebuilt, and 5G. Now, a virus that came out of nowhere in Wuhan, China, put the world on a global lockdown.
All of Italy, a country of 60 million people, is now effectively a red zone. On Monday evening, Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte announced that the measures that had just been put in place on Sunday morning in the Lombardy region and 14 other provinces, an area with a population of around 16 million people, would be extended to the entire country. This means that schools and universities will be closed until at least the 3rd of April. All public and private sporting events canceled. All public gatherings banned. Only absolutely.
So we're going to put out an executive order today. New York State on pause. Policies that assure uniform safety for everyone.
And the County of Los Angeles is issuing a safer at home, stay at home order that will go effective midnight tonight.
In a Dean Koontz book, he predicted in the 80s that a virus out of a Wuhan lab would come. Is this predictive programming? The Disney movie Tangled has piqued an interest of this. The island that the princess gets isolated and quarantined on is called Corona. The Simpsons also predicted an outbreak in 1993 of the coronavirus as well, and also had Tom Hanks in the movie, where in the movie they are quarantined in a bubble, and Tom Hanks says that you can't trust the government, but you can trust him. The movie Pandemic, How to Prevent an Outbreak, came out just 2 weeks before the coronavirus outbreak happened. And the movie Contagion also is pre-predictive programming to get our minds ready for an event like this. Bill Gates has been warning for over a decade that a pandemic was going to happen, a bioweapon pandemic of contagion. Bill Gates even put on an event called Event 201, is a global pandemic exercise. They even had to issue an apology that the exercise happened and then the pandemic happened, funded by the Bill and Gates Foundation. So now we are in a worldwide government martial law shutdown, perfect agenda for the New World Order. Even this article came out today on March 20th, 2020, 322. Intelligence officials' early alarms about possible pandemic went unheeded. They knew this was going to happen before it happened. Just like in Pearl Harbor, they knew that the Japanese were going to attack Pearl Harbor, but they let it happen so they could enter into a world war. So the government knew that this pandemic was on its way, and now the government is in martial law worldwide. Military rule widens in pandemic response. Breaking, Trump eyes 2-week quarantine for the entire nation. That is all of America under martial law, as we told you on this channel was going to happen, and it is now happening. California awakes to a new reality. The entire state of California under quarantine, under martial law. And what is the agenda? What is going on while everybody is inside? This is why they got the National Guards out here. There's something big about to happen. Illinois joins New York and California for a stay-at-home order, which is just a nice PC way of saying martial law. U.S. economy deteriorating faster as anticipated as 80 million Americans forced to stay at home. Much of life comes to a standstill as countries shut themselves off from the rest of the world. We are in a New World Order global shutdown, and something big is about to happen. One reason why the governments around the world are keeping us all indoors so we can't go outside is because there could be an asteroid hitting Earth tonight or in the coming days. Another reason is that there could be UFOs invasion coming to attack our planet. This could be a real encounter or a stage encounter, and they want us all to be prepared and scared while this is going on. Here is some history of the Battle of Los Angeles, where UFOs came and attacked and disappeared, and they blamed it on the Japanese. Roswell, Mexico crash, Phoenix Lights. Even the Navy and the mainstream media have been coming out the last couple years admitting that there are UFOs and showing us videotapes of the UFOs. And I mean, none of this is supposed to be trusted. Even NASA, the Nazi company, lost the moon landing tapes. Is this why they're spraying the sky so we don't see what is coming to our planet? It could be the 12th planet, as Zachariah Stitchin talked about. This is one theory of the worldwide shutdown, is that something foreign is coming to attack. Another reason why they're keeping us indoors from the invisible bug and deploying the National Guard and setting up martial law is because they're going to be setting up 5G all over the United States and with our allies, because 5G is a military weapon and is the new Sputnik moment, the new space race. To whom builds 5G and controls 5G will dominate the planet. CNBC, this came out today, why the coronavirus pandemic may fast forward 5G adoption in the USA. US-China relationship worsen over coronavirus. Trump is calling coronavirus the Chinese virus. North Korea is launching off missiles because this is a war that we're in. We are going to be entering into a war, and 5G is playing a big part of it. China maintains leading position in 5G networks despite effects of coronavirus. So when they had their city on lockdown, they built 5G stations in their city. They even built it in their hospital. Why the coronavirus pandemic may fast forward 5G adoption in the US. This came out today. Now this is the brand. Trump officials compare Huawei to the mafia as White House works on 5G battle plan. That's because this is a military weapon and there's a race from China or America. Whoever builds 5G first will dominate the world. Trump signs law to stop rural carriers from using its gear. So it's illegal to use any of their services or products. Trump must stand firm on Huawei to convince U.S. allies to ban the Chinese company from their 5G network. And here is some government documents. There's a lot of government documents out explaining about 5G, explaining how it's a military weapon and we need it for our national security. This is the reason why. I'm pretty sure they're keeping us in the house because they're going to be deploying it everywhere in America. And Trump came out earlier this year or last year saying that he wants to put it in all rural areas. Pentagon announces big push to incorporate 5G technology for military use in 2019. Here's some more government documents going over it. There's so many different government documents that go over 5G as a military weapon, and this is what they're doing while we are locked down. And the last reason that they have us under martial law worldwide is so they can reset the debt. They can put us through a debt jubilee. They can wipe off all the debt, all the balances of everybody to bring us into a one world currency for the New World Order, which would only be able to be used and taken if you get the RFID chip, the mark of the beast, and be part of their 5G network of control, where they can control you and they will finally reach their goal to rule the world. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Click the subscribe button, like and share this video. Also, YouTube's taken down all of our videos. They're removing the videos forcefully, and the only way I can get banned content out to you is by you joining the newsletter. The government shutdown will probably shut down the internet, and this is a good way to secure your information by clicking the newsletter in the link down below and subscribing to the newsletter so we could get the information out to you before the total government shutdown and the internet shutdown that will be coming. Please do that and have a great day. God bless you. Take care.